we all know how the running back market is right now. All the premier running backs, or most of them, and Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, another running back that's not really top tier yet, and Tony Pollard, not getting long-term contracts, all franchise tag, just not getting contracts. And we all know the state of the running back and what teams think of them, what everyone thinks of them. Everyone has the same mindset. But I'm going to tell you why the Indianapolis Colts need to retain Jonathan Taylor and why Jonathan Taylor is kind of an exception to what these other teams are dealing with. So if you enjoy Colts content, videos like these, and have, all that kind of stuff, NFL news, Colts news, make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. Let's make a like goal for 10. Let's go for 10 likes this video. So Jonathan Taylor has been one of the most dynamic running backs since he has entered the NFL, and he's been in the league for 3 years now. He's going into his contract year. So his first year, he was third in the league in rushing yards. Marlon Mack went down with an Achilles tear. What happened to Marlon Mack, actually? Just thinking about it. What happened to Mack? Where the heck is he? He was so good for the Colts for a couple years, and we drafted Taylor, and Taylor just had a much higher ceiling. Obviously, we see it now, but so Jonathan Taylor, third in the first year, you had Philip Rivers as your quarterback, and he was very good his first year. Very, very dynamic, running the ball, yards after contact. Right in the beginning, he was struggling to see the offensive line. His vision wasn't the greatest, but it improved over time, and now it's incredible. He makes absolutely incredible plays out of nothing. You see him make 7-yard runs out of a run that other players would probably take that for a loss of 2 yards. Jonathan Taylor is a very dynamic playmaker, and I think the Colts need to retain him because, there's a few reasons I have here. One of them is, even if you only get 2 good years out of Jonathan Taylor, you're helping your rookie quarterback. You're helping your rookie quarterback develop, and Anthony Richardson is going to need all the help he can get right now. He had very little experience in college, 13 starts, 12 last year. He needs all the help he can get. So Jonathan Taylor can be a huge help to him. He could help guide him in the running game, even though Anthony Richardson is already an elite athlete. He could help Anthony Richardson running the ball, try to help refine him in that part of the game, and just in general, taking some pressure off of Anthony Richardson. So we all know, I think Jonathan Taylor will run much better this year because the offensive line is going to be better, regardless whether the players are better or not, which I think they are. And also, is it going to be great? Is it going to be phenomenal? No, I think they still have a long ways to go. I'm not going to count any of my eggs yet. I'm not going to count my eggs until they're hatched. I want to see this offensive line play at a high level before I say, yes, they are a top offensive line, which I'm not sure if they have it in them this year. Quentin Nelson's great. He's elite. He's one of the best to ever do it. He will go down as one of the best to ever do it. Bernard Raimann, we'll see if he can take the next step. If he doesn't, we'll see if Blake Freeland steps in and he can really take that step that Bernard Raimann couldn't, or if Raimann gets hurt, put him in. We'll see how he plays. If this offensive line sustains a couple of injuries, there's going to be some serious problems. We already have a little bit of a problem at right guard, so if Quentin Nelson gets hurt, left guard is going to be quite the issue. I think we should sign a guy maybe like Dalton Risner or something like that. We need to go and sign a few guys on the offense line and in cornerback as well, but that's not the topic of today's video. So, Jonathan Taylor, right? We're kind of going off topic here, but Jonathan Taylor, you see these other running backs not getting paid, and I think I know why. I think it's worth paying Jonathan Taylor because you have a potential franchise quarterback on his rookie deal, and he needs all the help he can get. So, you look at some of these other running back situations. It's either the team just isn't anywhere close to contention, or they're paying their quarterback $40+ million. So you look at the Cowboys and the Giants. The Cowboys are paying Dak Prescott $40 million a year, 40 to 45. They're paying him a lot, and it's very difficult to pay a running back big money when you're already paying your quarterback that money. That kind of money. When you have a quarterback coming in on his rookie deal, he could, potentially a franchise guy, you're putting all your eggs in the basket in this guy. I think it's absolutely worth re-signing Jonathan Taylor to help him develop, and you could also allocate that money, since you're paying your quarterback a rookie contract, you could allocate that money towards something else that can really help his development. And Tony Pollard, he's going to want some money, but I don't think he's going to want top tier money, so I don't see why the Cowboys couldn't get a deal done with him. Maybe because they have other guys and that they like in that room. I know they drafted Deuce Vaughn. Was he drafted? No, I think he was undrafted, but I don't remember. But I know they got Deuce Vaughn. And they're paying the receivers a lot of money. They're really into the receivers, the offensive line. They're paying some good money to the offensive line. So I guess I see why they can't really allocate that kind of money to a running back. And The Giants, Saquon Barkley wants a top-end deal. The Giants offered him $13 million a year. He turned that down. He wants like 15, 16 a year. And with his injuries, and I kind of disagree with Barkley being like that because he's not all that Giants offense. You see Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is getting much better, and it's not all of him. But the point I'm trying to make is, Daniel Jones is being paid $40 million a year, just like Dak Prescott, and the Giants don't really want to use any more of that money towards a running back because they don't have that money to spare. They have to take that money and they have to allocate it towards receivers, towards maybe towards a cornerback. And they have a lot of players coming up. They're going to want contracts. Kayvon Thibodeau's going to want a contract in a couple of years. You're going to have Evan Neal. He's still young. A lot of these guys are still young, but they're going to want contracts eventually. And if you want to retain them, you're going to need that money. And you look at the Colts right now, they have retained their most valuable players, I think, besides Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor. I would resign. I don't even know who I resign first out of Pittman and Taylor. I'd probably take Taylor. I'm just not. I think the elephant is in the room. I think the jury is still out on Michael Pittman. I think he's still got a bit to prove to find a way to be consistent from game to game, season to season, play to play, half to half. I think a lot of this team has that issue. But you look at the Colts. Yeah, they're paying a lot of money to the offensive line. They're not really paying a lot of money to the receivers. They may be giving a big contract to Michael Pittman Jr. soon. But I think it's worth re-signing a running back in Jonathan Taylor when, whether it's $15, $16 million a year, you have that money to spare because you don't have to pay your quarterback yet. You don't have to pay him, $40+ million if Anthony Richardson turns out like that, which would be beautiful. If he turns out to be a top 5 quarterback, he's going to want 50+. I mean, right now we're getting into the $50+ million territory for these quarterbacks. I think Joe Burrow is probably going to get paid around 50, if not more. But I think Jonathan Taylor needs to be retained. And if you look at Josh Jacobs, that team is nowhere near contending. Now, are the Colts? No. But at least the Colts have a young quarterback that can help the development with. And, I think it's absolutely worth re-signing Jonathan Taylor. He's going to, say you only get 2 years. Say you pay him $60 million a year. If you pay him over 4 years at $64 million. Let's say you guarantee him $48 million, $42 to $48 million, which I can see is realistic. Say he only plays 2 of that. I would be okay with that because you're giving your young quarterback the best chance possible to develop into something special. And I don't think you could, you kind of got to take a look at it some place and be like, yeah, you can't pay him too much, but I think it's absolutely worth paying Jonathan Taylor $16 million a year, even if he, and if he doesn't turn out, okay, we'll bite the nail because I think this is a chance you have to take in helping your young quarterback develop into the best possible player he could because Chris Ballard, this is on you. If Anthony Richardson doesn't pan out, if this team has to go through another, if they have to go through another waiting period to get their franchise guy, he's not going to be here. He's not going to be picking the quarterback next time. It's going to be someone else. So I think it's, the Colts need to retain Jonathan Taylor. They cannot let him walk. They cannot, let the relationship sour. I think, let's say Jonathan Taylor is playing really good throughout half of the season. He's not having any injuries. I say resign him halfway through the season. I think that's 100% fair, and I think that's probably a best-case scenario. And maybe for Pittman, too. I think you should sign Pittman halfway through the season as well. Like I said, the jury's still out on Pittman, so I would like to see Pittman play this year first before we resign him, and we will. So that's all I got from me today. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think the Colts should retain Jonathan Taylor? Do you agree with what I said here today? Or do you think I'm talking on my butt and I don't know what I'm talking about? I want to hear your opinion. That's kind of why I do this. I love hearing your opinions. Talking with you. It's amazing. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for tuning into the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. If you enjoy Colts football, NFL ball, NFL news, Colts news, make sure you like, subscribe, put the post notification bell on so you don't miss any future videos. Remember, 10 likes is a like goal. I'll catch you next time.